The ocean, vast, unforgiving, and dangerous. You've heard the stories, right? Ancient folklore whispered on stormy nights of a powerful water spirit luring men with promises of wealth, beauty, and eternal life. But there's always a price. And once you've made a deal with the sea, there's no going back. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most terrifying legends from the heart of Africa, the legend of Mami Wata. But before we start, let me ask you, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of the sea? The calm waves, or the deep, suffocating darkness beneath? Hold that thought, because tonight, the answer might change. In a small coastal village in West Africa, there lived a fisherman named Eli. He was no different from the others, working tirelessly under the blistering sun, hauling in meager catches day after day. But deep inside, Eli knew there had to be more than this. He dreamed of riches, fame, a life where he could buy anything he wanted and never worry about another hungry night. But you know how it goes. Be careful what you wish for. One day, after a particularly exhausting day on the water, Eli sat on the shore, gazing at the vast ocean. The sun had just dipped below the horizon, leaving a blood-red sky in its wake. That's when he saw her, a woman, emerging from the sea. Her hair was long and flowing, glistening like silver, and her eyes, oh, her eyes, glowed with a strange, hypnotic light. She was beautiful, impossibly so, and she was staring directly at him. She spoke. Her voice was like the softest lullaby, but laced with something darker. She introduced herself as Mami Wata, a spirit of the sea, a goddess of water, beauty, and mystery. And she made Eli an offer. "I can give you everything you desire, Eli," she said, her voice swirling like the current beneath his feet. "Wealth, power, the world at your fingertips. All you need to do is help me retrieve a small artifact from the depths of the ocean." Eli, already lost in her gaze, didn't hesitate. His hunger for riches drowned out every other thought. The deal was made. A simple trade. He would help Mami Wata, and she would give him everything. But as he dove deeper into the dark waters, something felt wrong. The ocean seemed to pull at him, its cold fingers clutching at his limbs, dragging him into the abyss. Have you ever felt like you were being watched? That feeling when you turn around and no one's there. Now imagine that feeling beneath the surface of an endless sea. Suddenly, Eli saw it, a glimmer of light deep below. He swam toward it, but as he got closer, he realized that what he thought was a treasure was something far more sinister. A small, glowing artifact, yes, but its presence felt unnatural, cursed. Eli grabbed it, but the moment he did, the water around him changed. The calmness turned to a violent whirlpool, pulling him deeper. Something was wrong. The deal wasn't what he thought it was. The sea was angry. Mami Wata had tricked him. And now, Eli was trapped by the very thing he'd sought to control. When Eli resurfaced, he was no longer the man who had dived into the ocean. His skin, once dark and healthy, was pale. His eyes empty. His body trembled, but it wasn't from the cold. It was as if something inside him was changing. Mami Wata stood on the shore, her eyes gleaming with malice. "You've made a grave mistake," she whispered. And that's when Eli realized there was no going back. The curse had been cast. You know, I bet right now you're thinking, why didn't Eli just, swim back to shore and forget the whole thing? Well, if it were that simple, we wouldn't have much of a story now, would we? As the days passed, The village began to notice Eli's strange behavior. He would mumble to himself, talking about things that didn't make sense.
What's on the docket?
Sometimes he'd be found by the shore, staring into the water as if waiting for something.
What's up with the light?
For someone. The village grew fearful, and as they whispered about the strange happening, the ocean grew louder, waves crashing violently against the rocks, storms rolling in without
Where did
warning.
everything go?
And on the darkest nights, villagers claimed to hear a voice on the wind, calling every name. Was it Mami Wata waiting to claim her due? Or was it something else? Something darker than our came. The blood-red moon hung heavy in the sky, casting pale light across the village. Eli stood by the shore, the artifact. He could feel the pull of the sea, the call of Mami Wata, now louder than ever. The wind howled, the waves crashing against the rocks, and the villagers watched in terror from their windows as Eli waded into the water, deeper and deeper, and then it happened. The sea exploded with force, and out of the depths rose Mami Wata, her beauty now twisted into something monstrous. Her eyes burned with rage. You were never meant to control the sea, Eli. And in that moment, Eli understood. He was just another pawn in her game. A game that had been played for centuries. The spirits of the sea didn't seek wealth or power. They sought souls. The waves grew still. The ocean returned to its natural state. But Eli was gone. And with him, the artifact. But remember, there are always more stories lurking beneath the surface. So what do you think? Is the curse of Mami Wata truly over? Or is there more to this legend than we'll ever know? If you want to dive deeper into the unknown, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more chilling tales from the depths. Who knows what we'll uncover next? Until then, keep your eyes on the water.